activities. I think the counselors were trying to get us to play capture the flag. And there was this girl with like dyed red hair, homemade dye. And she was like, it's mandatory fun time. We must have fun. And I just remember feeling so delighted by that I'd never really seen a girl my age be ironic and rebellious. I just loved it. So I worked as a photographer and a reporter and an oral historian. So I'm always studying people. I think as the child of immigrants, I always have this feeling that everyone knows something that I don't. And I need to figure out what it is. I need to ask lots of questions and document it. My most recent career is as an oral historian, and it sort of came from the reporting. I was writing this article about DC's most gentrified neighborhood. And I was taking these long interviews with people, almost like life history length interviews. I was asking them, tell me about your life in this neighborhood. And a few people mentioned that it felt like oral history. So after that, I sort of started educating myself about oral history. I went to the conferences and I did the readings, and I turned it into an oral history project, basically, with reporting and personal narrative woven into it. And it was so long that it had to be a book instead of an article. The most exciting thing to me that I do is interview people by far. So right now what I'm doing, I'm working on a second book. It's about the children of immigrants and how we become American. I'm in the process of interviewing now, and I just love that process of asking endless questions and trying to really get to the heart of how people understand their own lives. When I became pregnant with my first child, I was working as a reporter, and I was publishing 4 articles a day. I was working until 10 or 11 p.m. every night. And I made the decision to quit that job and stay home with my kid for a year and then go back in a freelance manner. Stepping away from sort of an institution and an organization gave me the ability to think a little bit more creatively. And I don't know if I would have come up with the book idea if I was still in an institution that way. I mean, it would be on a different path. If you have a goal in mind, it can be very overwhelming to think about accomplishing the whole thing. But if you just say, okay, I'm going to set aside a few hours every day to write, or I'm going to practice this instrument every single day, or I'm going to go to this class every week, and you keep doing it, all of a sudden you kind of realize that you've accomplished your goals. So I'm a big believer in good habits, being very watchful of what your habits are. Ice cream with hot fudge, definitely. I eat it often, almost every day, so it definitely would be ice cream with hot fudge.